In a previous video entitled 100% Proof Haile Selassie I never said he's a descendant of Solomon and Sheba, some of the comments received were like, what in the what? Even though Selassie I made a regnal list in 1922, placing Dawit I, who they refer to as Menelik I, as the 99th king of Ethiopia, and not the first emperor according to the Kebra Negus. They also deny the fact that the Ethiopian scriptures clearly says that Sheba is here in the latter times, or in the end of the years, hence during Revelation. Therefore, they rather repeat European folklore than accept what Haile Selassie said himself. That is just our story. So let's read who made up the story. This guy. The story goes he went to Ethiopia and a regular Ethiopian gave him some manuscripts that he brought back to Great Britain. Then 19 years after he died, they first published the Kebra Negus, which is basically folklore. How? Let's read. The Kebra Negus is a great storehouse of legends and traditions, some historical, some are purely folklore character. So let's watch. Some also said within the comments that Selassie didn't speak English.
I talked with Emperor Haile Selassie in his private office in Jubilee Palace, built in 1955 in the southeast part of Addis Ababa, to commemorate the 25th anniversary of His Imperial Majesty's reign. Although Emperor Haile Selassie speaks excellent English,
excellent English, so he could have easily said, yes, I am a descendant. Some also said the video was AI and made up. Look, this video has been out for 15 years. It's Selassie Canadian interview part 2. Part 1. Listen.
I'm Bill McNeil. Earlier this year, I had the great pleasure of meeting personally the Lion of Judah when he visited Canada at Expo 67. I rode with him aboard the Royal Train from Winnipeg to North Bay, sat with him in his private car, talked with him about himself and his country, and felt the thrill of meeting face to face an unforgettable figure from the pages of history.
Hello. So it's a real interview done in 1967. This is some denying the facts because Selassie said this is just our story. If someone tells you you're something, wouldn't it make sense that you'd be like, nah, this is just our story? They want to change it to he was saying yes. No, listen carefully.
You are descended, Your Imperial Majesty, from King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba.
Right? If he was saying, yes, I am, then he would simply say, yes, I am a descendant of Solomon and Sheba. Instead, he says, no, this is just our story. It only makes sense that it's a no.
This is just our story, ancient story. The Queen of...
You are descended, Your Imperial Majesty, from King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba.
This is just our story.
Right, it only makes sense that you're saying, no, this is just our story. And as you heard earlier, he speaks excellent English, so he could have easily said, yes, I am a descendant. Instead, he literally said, this is just our story, which is confirming it's a no. This is made up. It's folklore.
From King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba.
This is just our story, ancient story.
Hello. So where's King David? The actual site of King David's burial is unknown. They don't know where he's buried. Just like they don't know where Solomon is buried. Because why? They're making up the story. King Solomon's burial site is one of history's biggest mysteries. In other words, no one knows where he died because he's not dead. He's supposed to be here in the latter times. So let's read the wisdom of Solomon. So the wisdom of Solomon tells you, as for the ungodly, wrath came upon them without mercy on to the end, for he knew before what they would do. So what happens during the wisdom of Solomon? For the elements, notice, wisdom of Solomon, for the elements were changed in themselves by a kind of harmony, like as in psaltery notes change the name of the tune, and yet are always sounds. which may well be perceived by the sight of things that have been done. For earthly things were turned into watery, and the things that before swam in the water now went upon the ground. The fire had power in the water, forgetting his own virtue, and the water forgot his own quenching nature. On the other side, flames wasted not the flesh of the corruptible living things, though they walked therein, neither melted they the icy kind of heavenly meat that was of nature apt to melt. For in all things, O Lord, thou didst. Hello, that means Solomon is here when God changed the elements at the end of times. So let's read what it says about Solomon. Thus rested Solomon with his father, when